ready? Are you ready? What's up, guys? It's your bear, and I am back after a little bit of a hiatus, which I will talk about in another little bit. But in this video, I want to talk about Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, and how the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done it no justice, and how, as much as I love Robert Downey Jr., I'm not too happy about this casting call. So I'm gonna start off, because I've been avoiding this like the plague. I'm gonna watch a little video of the reveal, and then I'm just gonna talk about it.
As proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
New mask. Same task. What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters. Love you. Wow.
So that was just like the announcement from the Comic-Con, which is cool, it's well done. And I can understand why people are excited about this, because people really love Robert Downey Jr. And I enjoy him too. I really enjoyed him, but a huge problem with taking a character and taking an actor is a character can be portrayed in many ways, but once you give an actor a key role, a key part. He was in the Avengers for I don't even know how many years exactly as Iron Man. When people see Robert Downey Jr., they see Iron Man, which is fair, which is cool. I think Iron Man was one of the coolest things. Watching Iron Man as a little girl and being like, oh, this is so cool. For the rest of my life, even when he was as Sherlock, I was like, oh, that's Iron Man. No, he's playing Sherlock, but oh no, but that's Iron Man. So it's difficult to do that, and I can get it, and maybe a little bit in the crazy comic universe. It makes sense in the comic universe, but not everyone is that deep inside the comic universe. Also, I feel that an Avengers 5? I mean, Star Wars died off so quickly after 7, and 6 was pushing it, and the only reason why the Star Wars 2-part trilogies worked was because they had great directors and great producers and great actors behind it. But let's be honest, Marvel has been bad. Sorry, but this most recent gen of Marvel has not been up to par. And they're announcing this news of the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, which has done so successfully well. But Deadpool was initially denied as a character for the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he was too R-rated and he wasn't PG enough. So you're taking a pretty big risk. But something else about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is really starting to get on my nerves right now is the multiverse. The multiverse worked for Spider-Man. I think it worked great because in the Spider-Man universe itself, the multiverse is such a big thing. In Avengers, it's not that big. In the Fantastic Four, it's not that big. It's kind of a thing in Deadpool, but we're not gonna get too much into what makes sense and what doesn't make sense in the Deadpool universe. We just know that Deadpool exists and it makes sense. It's kind of dying down though. If I were to see Doctor Doom in the cinematic universe, I want to see Doctor Doom against the Fantastic Four, and I want to see you give the Fantastic Four justice. And there are so many great actors and so much great talent out there that you could be casting into the MCU, but you have a safety net with Robert Downey Jr. I mean, if you listen closely,
as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you.
there's a guy right there. It's so like mumbled, but he goes, Robert Downey Jr. Before they've even completely announced it, he was like, oh, it's Robert Downey Jr. And like, that's cool. I'm glad you have this safety net. But I would have rather watched someone else. And I watched this clip of Anthony the Falcon saying that he pulled out his trailer for the upcoming Falcon stuff. And he's like, I got Harrison Ford backing me. And then you walk out and you pull Robert Downey Jr. out to play Doctor Doom. How is anything else going to live up to that? How do you live up to Robert Downey Jr.? You don't. You don't. Because in terms of Marvel, Robert Downey Jr. is as good as it's going to get. Chris Evans is as good as it's going to get. Scarlett Johansson, good as it's going to get. Jeremy Renner, good as it's going to get. The guy who played Hulk, I feel so bad right now. Oh my gosh. Mark? Oh, oh no. Oh no. I was so ready for this rant that his name completely brushed over my head. Hulk. Avengers. Mark Ruffalo. I was right, Mark. That's as good as it's gonna get, you know, stuff like that. There's no replacing the original six. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, but Thor's kind of off in his own world right now, so I'm not too phased about Thor. But once you've established these guys as iconic characters, they're established. They kind of got away with it with Chris Evans because, unfortunately, the Fantastic Four movies were a little bit of a flop, which is sad because they were some of my favorite movies growing up. But they just didn't get the justice that they deserved, and there wasn't enough love put into those movies and those characters. Don't get me wrong, Chris Evans played an amazing Human Torch, but in comparison to him as Captain America, phew, and I can accept that. And they're messing with timelines, and they're scooping in this, and they're going into that, and everything's merging together, which is kind of cool, but it's also kind of tiring at this point. You gotta watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then you gotta watch this, then you gotta watch the Captain Marvel thing, then you gotta watch the Captain Marvel movie, then you gotta watch this. People already struggle to watch the Avengers movie in a timeline chronological order, and now you're going and adding all this extra stuff? It's too much, and you know what? They've done it. They've done the different timeline thing. They've messed with time travel. Look at what they did to the X-Men franchise, which Deadpool is by some miracle saving right now. It is such a risk. And don't get me wrong, I feel like maybe there's a chance. I feel like maybe there's an opportunity because Robert Downey Jr. is an actor and a person who goes into something and he says, "We're doing this. We're getting this right." Because he nailed Iron Man, he nailed Sherlock. I can't think of another movie right now, but he nailed those movies. He nailed that. And I can feel that coming through. But we're going into just another. It makes me concerned. Is this a Marvel decision? Is this a Disney decision? Is this a unanimous decision? That it's all gonna work? Kinda deal? I don't know anymore. So it's hard to say, and that's all we have to go off of so far. Now, the thing is, I knew coming up to the announcement that we were going to have a Doctor Doom themed movie. I just was kind of hoping that maybe it would be an original Doctor Doom. This is the perfect time to reset the Fantastic Four franchise. And they're going with Robert Downey Jr., who in that clip alone still resembles Iron Man too much. Now, I'm not getting into the comic book beef. That is entirely separate to the cinematic universe. Cinematic universe, comic universe. So we're not going to go into the comic universe. Cinematic universe, how are you going to explain this one? Is the multiverse fracturing just that screwed that we get to see Victor Von Doom, as a Tony Stark lookalike and have to deal with the emotions of, well, we watched Tony Stark die, and now we have to watch him be Victor and become the villain. I don't really know if there's real storytelling in that. We've kind of played out the Iron Man options. If anything, I was waiting for them to make his daughter the Iron Woman, or Pepper. But they haven't done that, which I'm grateful for because enough. Also, I don't think Pepper wants to come back to the Avengers. Beyond the topic, that's kind of like my opinion because Marvel has not been seizing the right opportunities recently. They released X-Men, the new X-Men series, which did phenomenally well and really re-sparked the X-Men community just in time for Deadpool to come out and even further re-spark it. So I feel like there's potential in re-sparking the Fantastic Four community. Stop harboring on the Avengers. You've milked them enough. Bring in new stuff. And I say this with hopes because I know that there are quite a few new things that they have in the works. I mean, they managed to pull out Channing Tatum to play a beloved Marvel character. That opens up a whole new universe possibility to go into more of the Avengers characters or more of the I don't know what his universe would be called, but the Blade universe, which is the reason Marvel is thriving today so many years later, and they never touched on the Blade universe again. Excuse me? That's a franchise that had so many opportunities, and you just went, nah. It's disappointing because that's where Disney shines through. Is we're gonna milk what we know works. Captain Marvel, the movie, worked. The show didn't. What more have they done for Captain Marvel since? Oh, we got a sequel that I forgot about. I completely forgot that there was technically a Captain Marvel sequel branching off of the Captain Marvel show, which I couldn't be asked to watch. I don't want to watch it. I'm tired of all these next gens. I'm okay with you bringing in a next gen, but then you have to properly retire the old gen, which they're not doing. They are milking the old generations so badly that we are forgetting about the new generations. And when they do have a banger released in between, it's completely lost. Look at Loki. Loki was good, but it just came and went, and it was gone. Did you guys forget? Did you forget about Loki? I mean, Doctor Strange. What the fuck did you do to Doctor Strange? Oh, well, Doctor Strange is now incorporated into the Spider-Man storyline, and this storyline, and the Hulk storyline. What? What? Do you know what was a good Marvel movie? Do you know what's probably the last good Marvel movie I watched? Shang-Chi. For a brief period of time in the Marvel Universe, Shang-Chi could hang alone as a standalone movie in the universe, and that worked. I don't like interlapping because I'm gonna be the next 25 years with my children, and I'm gonna be like, alrighty kids, before you can watch Avengers 17 Rejuvenation, we gotta go back all the way to a Civil War. What are you talking about? It's such an old movie, Ma. Yeah, but you gotta know chronological timeline order so this movie makes sense. It's too much. It is too much to keep track of, to put in order, to theorize around, which is things people love doing, and you're piling and you're piling and you're milking and you're milking, and you're wasting, and you're wasting and you're wasting and you're wasting. You have so much. Within the Marvel comic book universe, you have so much, and yet you have chosen basic things to milk over and over again, and I'm a little bit tired of it. And every time we see a movie come out to another franchise, we're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome, and then it flops. And then it flops. So whenever the Marvel Cinematic Universe releases something, the pressure's up here, the expectation's always up here, and we get a movie down here. Or we get a series that's down here. Or we get something that we completely forget about. Or we get something that just goes absolutely berserk, and that's all fans talk about for the next 5 years. There's no balance anymore. Up until a certain point, the Avengers universe worked. But it doesn't work anymore, and it is just starting to go down the same path that X-Men went down. Now, on this channel, I believe in chances. I believe in having faith. I trust Robert Downey Jr. and I trust that someone has love for what they are doing. But when it comes to Marvel, I just don't have high hopes, and this is a rant about that because there's just, it doesn't feel like Marvel anymore. And I look forward to the day that it does, and I'm hoping that maybe some involvement with Ryan Reynolds, who seems to have a passion for the source material that it's coming from Hugh Jackman, who truly appreciates it, Robert Downey Jr., people like that. I think even Anthony, who plays the Falcon, has grown to really appreciate his source material, and it's things like that that give me hope, but it's the company that doesn't. So, thank you for sitting with me in my rant. I know some of it may seem a little bit repetitive, but that's just my fears in the upcoming state of Marvel. Disappointment. Absolute disappointment. But I believe in having a positive mental attitude and giving everything the hope that it deserves. So here's to hoping that something good comes out of it. Robert Downey Jr., please make it work.